Afternoon to an esteemed audience here, to all our delegates, to all our dignitaries who have joined the Eastern Himalayan Economics Forum since the past 2 days. It had been a wonderful experience for each one of us participating in this forum, learning and engaging ourselves into dialogues and conversations over the past 2 days. And today, this being the last session of the forum, I think this is the most power-packed session because we have the youngest voices, we have the future of our country, not only the country but the world. We have the voices that will speak over eons and eons of ages. We have listened to expert discourses, we have listened to strategic policies, we have listened to so many diverse fields of engagements. But what is there in these young minds? What is happening actually at the grassroots? What is actually happening at the education field where we are grounded, engaged with each little child that gets associated with us when we talk about grooming our future, when we talk about grooming our land. And that's what we are going to focus on in this session. So our session for today is titled The Future Roots, Youth, Forests, and Innovations. And I, along with my distinguished panelists, basically, we look forward to reflect on some of the most urgent questions of our time, how young people are shaping future of our forests, the climate actions, the ecological resilience, and especially in the fragile and the vital landscape of the Eastern Himalaya. So this session is not going to merely bound itself to a mere discussion, of course. We'll listen to a lot of stories. We'll listen to a lot of personal experiences with these young voices who have joined us today. A dialogue between generations, communities, and visions and disciplines as well, where we bring together students, educators, activists, professionals, and change makers who are going to really, really make a difference in the near future, of course. So we look forward to focus on youth leadership. We look forward to focus on innovations, education, community-rooted actions, and the future opportunities for a sustained engagement. And I'm sure our panelists out here have the same voice that joins me in these objectives of the session. So once again, I would just briefly introduce our panelists, our distinguished panelists here. We have Ms. Lisipriya Kanjugam, a child climate activist from Manipur. We have all heard the stories of Lisipriya, I'm sure, and I do follow you personally. All your stories, all your interviews, I do follow you personally. We have Dr. Sapna Methi from the Department of Tourism, Assam Skill University, a very close friend and associate. Sapna, it has been working lovely knowing you over the years. We have with us Mr. Ashwini Banraj, assistant teacher, Bogijili High School. We'll also be a part of viewing the works that Bogijili High School has been doing over the years. We have a small video presentation also in the lineup during the session. We have Mr. Ashok Boro, assistant teacher, Bogijili High School. We have Mr. Udayveer Guhar Sirkar, youth environmental professional from our Ecological Solutions. And another young, very, very young teenager, Mr. Suhan Malik, a young environmentalist, popularly known as Rhino Friend. Yes, and Suhan has excellent stories to tell us how he became the name for Rhino Friend. We'll listen to all these stories. But to start off with the session, I'd like to begin with Lisipriya. So Lisipriya, you are a teenager, right? And
Yes.
when most of your friends are busy scrolling through their digital screens and glued to the television screens and glued to very many cultures which are not ours also maybe, right? So what helps you or what triggers you, motivates you intrinsically as well as extrinsically to become the voice that you are today?
Well, thank you, ma'am, for the question. Good afternoon, everyone. Kurum Jari Namaste. My name is Lisipriya Kangujam. I'm 14 years old Indian climate activist and the founder of the Child Movement. I'm also the special envoy for the president of Timor-Leste, and I'm happy to share with you all that I'm the youngest diplomat in the history of the world to be officially working in a government.
I think that calls for a huge round of applause. For a young child of 14 years old being a diplomat, it's not an easy task.
Thank you so much. Well, moving on, how I started my journey at such a young age. Let me tell you my story. You see, I was born in Manipur, which you all must be knowing, right? One of the northeastern state of India. It's full of rich biodiversity, I must say, with full of lush green mountains and alluring atmosphere. But sadly, what I would like to say is that all those rich biodiversity hotspots have turned into climate hotspots now. Even in my own village, we are facing extreme water scarcity now. And any which ways, I grew up in Bhubaneswar, Odisha for my schooling reasons. And what happened next was that my life was struck by Cyclone Titli in 2018, and then later Cyclone Fani in 2019. You see, during those two cyclones, as a child, as a young toddler, I saw in front of my very own two eyes how children lost their parents, how people lost their lives, how innocent people, these victims, were suffering vulnerably. They lost their homes, they lost their lands. I saw all the massive devastation which happened around me at that time. And then, as a child, at that time, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't even take my food or drink water because it struck me so hard. And then later, I moved to Delhi in 2019. And what happened again is that I faced the intense heat waves and the high air pollution level that you all must be knowing about. And jo air pollution tha us samay abhi bhi hai. And it's in an even more worse condition, I must say. So after facing all such environmental issues at such a young age, at such a young life, it turned me into a child climate activist. That's my story.
Thank you, Lysipriya, for bringing such a huge works into a brief summary. Yeah, we know you had done much beyond what you stated just now, but we'll come back to you. I'll come back to you again. Coming to Suhan, because we can make our elders, okay, wait, but we cannot let you wait, Lysipriya and Suhan, so we have to bring you to the forefront at the very starting of the session, of course. So Suhan, how did you become a rhino friend? Can you tell us a bit about that?
First of all, thank you for the question, ma'am, and good afternoon to everyone present over here, respected dignitaries, speakers, and all the students from different schools and the audience. So, I am Suhan Malik, friend of Rhino of Government of Assam, and also commonly known as Green Hero by Assam people and government. So, my work started when I was a kid, just like Lysipriya said, from toddler. So I just saw in TVs, newspapers. I just like to read newspapers. So I just saw there that trees are being cut, conservationist comes out, and one more important thing struck my mind: the rhino poaching that shows in the televisions. The in I will not take the news channel's name. They showed that all one rhino is being poached and the horn is taken away. The bloods are coming out, and it's very pity to hear that the small baby rhino is going round and round in near the mother. She doesn't even know that her mother died. So that struck me a lot because if my mother died, then I have my father, I have my family members, relative to take care of me. But a small baby rhino's mother, that rhino doesn't know what is the world? What in the national park, who would take care, or who would take care in the forest? So it is very concerning that the rhinos were being killed at that time when I was small. Like in 1 month, 4, 5 were there. In 1 year, 30, 20 rhinos were killed. So I just started small by planting trees for the near the Kaziranga National Park, near Probitara. Then for increasing the development of that, and also I campaigned in many of the sorry villages of Kaziranga National Park, Probitara, because I just motivate the people that if we see any of the poachers, or we get to know any of them, we just take as that they are going to kill our own people, our own relative. So like we should immediately inform the police, the rangers, or the who are in charge in it. So I just traveled around all around Assam where rhinos are being found, and I started in many televisions, news channels, interviews, that I came up for rhinos savings and conservation with different plannings, proposal to the government also, like in many during Kaziranga flood, many rhinos, not only rhinos, many animals were being killed for the flood. So I just asked the government, proposed the government for highlands, which are now in Kaziranga. There are 33 highlands. So I just proposed that, and if highlands were being built, then during the flood time, the animals can come over there and can save their lives. So, and many works I did. We have much time to discuss, and this is my story.
Thank you, Suhan. If each one on the planet Earth would have a heart like you, emotions like you, who would feel for the orphaned animals and other living forms, then this world would be a much, much better place than what we are now today. And we hope that every one of us will hear your message. And you are not only an activist, you are a policy change maker also. So it's not a very easy task at this age. Thank you, Suhan. এতিয়া মই যাবলৈ বিচাৰোঁ অশ্বিনী বনৰাজ আৰু ৰাজীৱ কটকী ছাৰলৈ। আপোনালোকৰ বগীজুলি হাইস্কুলত বহু এনেকুৱা কাম হৈ আছে যোনটো মানে সৰু সৰু ল'ৰা ছোৱালীৰ জৰিয়তে আমি ফৰেষ্ট আৰু ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ, এনভাইৰমেণ্টেল প্ৰটেকশ্যনৰ দিশত আমি আপোনালোকে কাম আগবঢ়াই গৈছে। তাৰ বিষয়ে অকণমান ক'ব নেকি? আপোনালোকে অকণমান আপোনালোকৰ মন্তব্যটো আগবঢ়ালে ভাল পাম। তাৰ আগলৈ আমি আমাৰ ডিছকাশ্যনটো লৈ যাম, ইনিচিয়েল কমেণ্টছ সবাই।
ধন্যবাদ বাইদেউ। মোৰ নাম অশ্বিনী বনৰাজ। মই ৰঙাপাৰাৰ অন্তৰ্গত ডফলাবিল গাঁৱৰ নিবাসী। আমি এতিয়া বৰ্তমান বগীজুলি উচ্চ মাধ্যমিক বিদ্যালয়ত এছিষ্টেণ্ট টিচাৰ হিচাপে কাম কৰি আছোঁ। তাত মই ছায়েন্স আৰু মেথছ পঢ়াওঁ, আৰু মই মোৰ গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যন ৰাঙাপাৰা কলেজৰ পৰা বটানী ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টত কৰিছোঁ। তাতে আমাক ডক্টৰ শুভম ৰয়, এইটো বটানী ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টৰ এজন এছিষ্টেণ্ট টিচাৰ, তেখেতৰ সহায়যোগত মই যেতিয়া কলেজত আছিলোঁ তেতিয়া আমি এটা মেডিচিনেল গাৰ্ডেন বনাইছিলোঁ কলেজতে। সেই মেডিচিনেল গাৰ্ডেনটো এতিয়াও আছে, আৰু আমি গৈ মাজে সময়ে এলুমনি হিচাপে গৈ চাই থাকোঁ। তাৰপিছতে মই যেতিয়া কলেজ পঢ়ি আছিলোঁ তেতিয়াই মই ডবডবি হাইস্কুলতো মই টিচাৰ কৰি আছিলোঁ এছিষ্টেণ্ট টিচাৰ হিচাপে। তাৰপিছতে মোৰ তেতিয়া গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যন কমপ্লিট হোৱা নাছিলে, গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যন সেইকাৰণে মই এৰিব লগা হ'ল মাজতে। তাৰপিছত এৰাৰ পিছতে মই মোৰ গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যনটো কমপ্লিট কৰিলোঁ। কমপ্লিট কৰাৰ পিছতে আকৌ তাৰপিছতে বগীজুলি উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিক বিদ্যালয়ত আকৌ এছিষ্টেণ্ট টিচাৰ হিচাপে চাকৰি পালোঁ। তাত আমাৰ AIS আৰু বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ সহায়ত আমি এখন নাৰ্চাৰী, তাৰপিছতে মেডিচিনেল প্লাণ্ট গাৰ্ডেন আমি বনাইছোঁ। তাতে এটলিষ্ট মেডিচিনেল গাৰ্ডেনত 30 প্লাণ্টছ হ'ব আৰু আমাৰ যোনটো নাৰ্চাৰী আছে নাৰ্চাৰীত এবভ আপোনাৰ 1 লাখমান প্লাণ্ট আছে ভেৰাইটিজ প্লাণ্টছ আছে তাত বেলেগ বেলেগ ধৰণৰ প্লাণ্টছ আছে আমি আৰু তাত আমাৰ বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন আৰু AIS আসাম এডভাইজৰী ইনভেষ্টমেণ্ট ছ'চাইটিৰ পৰা চিড বেংকত 1 কোটিমান চিড আছে এতিয়া বৰ্তমান আৰু আছিলে কিছুমানটো অলপ বেয়া হৈ গ'ল সেইটো আমি এইটো সংগ্ৰহ কৰি ৰাখিছোঁ পিছত কিছুমান আকৌ জাৰ্মিনেট কৰা হৈছে লেকিন এতিয়ালৈকে হোৱা নাই গছ এইটো আকৌ আমি এতিয়া গছ লগাই দিম এতিয়া বৰ্তমান মই সায়েন্স আৰু মেথছটো পঢ়াই ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকক প্ৰকৃতিৰ ওপৰত কেনেকৈ প্ৰকৃতিক আমি বচাই ৰাখিব পাৰোঁ সংৰক্ষণ কৰিব পাৰোঁ আৰু আজিকালি যেনেকুৱা গোলকীয় উত্তাপ বৃদ্ধি পাই আছে দিনক দিনে কিয়নো গছ গছনি নাইকিয়া হৈ গৈ আছে ধ্বংস হৈ গৈ আছে আৰু গছ গছনি নাকাটিলেও নহয় কিয়নো আজিকালি ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰি বনাবৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ য'ত ভাল জাগা চাই পাব যেনেকুৱা কমিউনিটি থকা সেইটো এৰিয়াত বনায় যাতে তাৰ যোনবিলাক প্ৰজন্মৰ এতিয়া ল'ৰা ছোৱালী তেখেতক চাকৰি পায় সেইটো চাই কিন্তু গছ গছনি ধ্বংস হৈ আছে সেইটো নাচায় সেইকাৰণে আমি বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন আৰু AISৰ সহায়ত আমি আৰু শিক্ষক শিক্ষয়িত্ৰীসকলৰ সহায়ত আৰু ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীৰ সহায়ত আমি উৎক্ষেপণ দি কিনে আমি ইহঁতক এতিয়া পৰিৱেশ কেনেকৈ সংৰক্ষণ কৰিব লাগে তাৰ ওপৰত আমি এতিয়া শিকাই আছোঁ
অশোক বড়ো ওচৰলৈ আহিব বিচাৰিছোঁ আপুনি অকণমান আপোনালোকৰ মানে পাঠ্যক্ৰমটো কেনেকৈ কি এক্টিভিটিজ কৰায় তাৰে ওপৰত অকণমান ক'ব পাৰিব নেকি মানে বগীজুলি হাইস্কুল এইটো এটা কমিউনিটি ড্ৰিভেন স্কুল হয় তাৰে কেনেকৈ আপোনালোকে আগবঢ়াই নিয়ে স্কুলখনৰ ফাইনেন্সিয়েল ফাণ্ডিং হওক বা গোটেইখিনি বস্তু অকণমান আগবঢ়াই উঠাব পাৰিব নেকি
ধন্যবাদ বাইদেউ ধন্যবাদ জনাইছোঁ বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন ছ'চাইটিক বৰ্তমান মই বগীজুলি হাইস্কুলতে এছিষ্টেণ্ট টিচাৰ হিচাপে কাম কৰি আছোঁ মই এনে গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যন কৰিছিলোঁ পলিটিকেল ছায়েন্সৰ মেজৰ হিচাপে তেজপুৰ কলেজৰ পৰা বৰ্তমান সেই বিদ্যালয়খনত প্ৰায় 15 বছৰ হ'ল কাম কৰি থকা আৰু পাঠ্যক্ৰমত যিখিনি শিক্ষাৰ কথা আছে সেই শিক্ষাখিনিৰ উপৰিও অন্য আমি পৰিৱেশৰ প্ৰেক্টিকেলি ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক কিবা শিকাব পাৰোঁ নেকি সেই বিষয়লৈ আমি কি কৰি ক্লাছবিলাক যেতিয়া ক্লাছ অফ থাকে বা ৰেষ্ট টাইম থাকে সেই বিষয়ে আমি ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক কাষলৈ আনি গছবিলাক কি বিচাৰিছে কিহৰ প্ৰব্লেমৰ কাৰণে গছবিলাক নাইকিয়া হৈছে বা জন্তুবিলাক কিহৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ স্থানীয় লোকৰ লগত সংঘাত হ'বলগীয়া হৈছে সেই বিষয়বোৰৰ ওপৰত আমি বিশেষকৈ আলোচনা কৰোঁ আৰু তেওঁলোকেও আমাক সহায় সহযোগ আগবঢ়ায় আৰু এই ক্ষেত্ৰত যে আমি ধন্যবাদ দিব লাগিব আসাম ইনভেষ্টিগেশ্যন এডভাইজৰী ছ'চাইটি আৰু লগতে বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন তেওঁলোকে আমাৰ লগত প্ৰায় সহযোগত থাকে বিভিন্ন কামত আমাৰ আন্তঃগাঁথনিয়ে হওক বা অন্যান্য প্লান্টেশ্যনেই হওক সেই সকলোখিনিত কি কৰে তেওঁলোকে আমাক সহযোগ আগবঢ়ায় অৰ্থনৈতিকভাৱেও আৰু হিচাপেও আমাক সহায় সহযোগ আগবঢ়াইছে তেওঁলোকৰ লগত একলগ হৈ পেলাই আমি ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক পৰিৱেশৰ ওপৰত কিমানখিনি আমি জ্ঞান দিব পাৰোঁ বা পৰিৱেশৰ ওপৰত তেওঁলোকক কেনেকুৱা সজাগ কৰিব পাৰোঁ সেই বিষয়ৰ ওপৰত আমি পাঠ্যক্ৰমৰ উপৰিও এক্সট্ৰাকৈ আমি তেওঁলোকক পৰিৱেশৰ ওপৰত শিক্ষা দিবলৈ আমি চেষ্টা কৰি আহিছোঁ ধন্যবাদ
At this juncture, we have a short video on Bogijuli High School. I request our IT department to kindly play the AV.
At Bogijuli School, learning doesn't stay inside four walls. It grows in every corner of the campus. Here, education walks with the children, along the corridors, in the open spaces, and in the world around them. Inside the classroom, learning begins with curiosity, guided by dedicated teachers who make every lesson meaningful. Children discover concepts by observing, exploring, and doing, not just memorizing. Out in the fields, they learn from nature, from soil, water, plants, and the environment that surrounds them. Every experience teaches something new: responsibility, teamwork, sustainability, and care for the world. With the support of passionate teachers and an involved community, learning becomes joyful and real. Bogi Julie School prepares children not just for exams, but for life.
Investment Advisory Society, building a sustainable future together.
Thank you. So that is indeed a future readiness that we call for. Coming to Udevir, can you share some of your stories or any case studies that you had, that you would like to share with our audience regarding youth-led and innovations, programs for the protection and conservation in areas that you're working with, David?
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you to the Balipara Foundation and Royal Global University for giving me this chance. So yes, heard really good stories so far from all our panelists. And so even I would like to basically share one of my experiences that I had with a project that really opened my eyes to youth involvement and how basically when organizations involve the youth, it can really take the project to new heights. So say 2 years ago, I had the chance to go with my organization, IORA Ecological Solutions. We work in the space of nature-based solutions and working with communities to basically come in the intersection of community livelihoods as well as climate change adaptation and mitigation. So we had gone with the Meghalaya Basin Development Authority to sort of do a monitoring and evaluation of their PES scheme, the Payment for Ecosystem Services scheme, across all their districts. And one thing that really stood out from this whole project was that this entire initiative was driven because the youth had been deployed. Starting from the point where the remote villages, youth had been deployed to each and every corner of the state to bring in the awareness about the Payment for Ecosystem Services scheme. Now, there were fears among the community that, with a scheme like this, the government may be just taking away our land. We're going to be basically selling away our land for some money. But the youth basically had been able to make them aware that no, this is not to worry. It's not a concern, not a matter of a worry. But had explained to them the policy angle of it, what's in it for them and how this is actually going to be benefiting them in the long run. So that comes in the angle of awareness and education. And furthermore, we're talking about the technology angle of this as well. Training the youth when it comes to new ways of reaching out to improve a project. So like how Sir had actually mentioned in his previous session, GIS modeling and spatial modeling, the youth had been trained by the organization to actually go out and do this mapping for communities, and has actually had opened up the community's eyes to a lot of understanding as to what was in their territories, how could they view that. So basically, I would say that, and I'm talking from an angle of social innovation, where when organizations bring the youth in to sort of take over their projects, especially in the ground level, and if I had to say especially for the case of the Northeast, I feel like the youth can, when they are motivated and when they're mobilized, they can reach to the furthest corners of any geography. So in a similar manner, like the organization that I work for has a flagship project in Meghalaya called the MegCare project, where we are working with 15,000 farmers and over 30,000 hectares of land for restoration and conservation, primarily working with farmers to help them diversify their incomes through basically locally indigenously rooted agroforestry models. And primarily, since my organization deals in the space of mobilizing climate finance, we began helping them with engaging with the access to carbon credits. And again, now carbon credits has many dimensions to it, so we don't focus on the idea of the carbon credits being the end game, but something that is an enabler. which can enable these organizations, these communities to expand further into other forms of financial mobilization. And this is where we've also involved the youth to actually spread this awareness and spread this sort of information gathering and the youth, not only do they know the policies, but when they know the policies and when it's not being implemented, they've actually been able to hold the authorities accountable for this. So that is one angle that when I had this experience first time when I had gone for this project, this actually had opened my eyes to the way that the youth, when mobilized, can just take things to the furthest levels. Yeah, thank you.
Truly agree with you, David. Yes, if youth once connected, the change can be very, very impressive and impactful there. Coming to Dr. Sapna Medhi, you have been associated with education, with the students, with youth connected at different perspectives and different ways throughout. So in the education field, what is one innovative skill or pathway that as educators we need to look at in our youth, like so that it motivates youth to enter careers related to conservation, related to forest stewardship?
Very good afternoon to everyone here. And first of all, I would like to thank Balipara Foundation for having me here today. It's really an honor and a privilege for me to be a part of this August gathering. Having said that, I would just like to ask our moderator, ma'am, Hazarika ma'am,
Yes.
if I have a minute to put a question to the crowd out
Yes,
there,
yes.
our young students out there, because I would be requiring your help in answering the question that has been put to me. And before I do that, I would really want to thank all the young leaders out here. It's really overwhelming for me to be seeing that the youth is taking up so much, on the conservation front, on the nature front, and it makes us hope that all good things are not lost yet, and yes, maybe we'll be able to save our art. So thank you for all your initiatives. So my question, I want to put a question out to the young energy who has been sitting there listening to us, and I'm sure you must be having a lot of things on your mind, but I just want your help with one thing. I would just put a question and I would request you to answer in 1 or 2 words, maybe 3 or 4 answers would suffice. What is that one thing, now that you all are studying in different stages, some are in school, some are in UG, some are in PG, so what is that one thing that has led you, maybe you have already a thing in your mind about a career that you want to choose. What is that one most important thing that has made you choose, maybe in your minds, what you want to do in your future as a professional? Can I please have some answers?
Yeah.
Your reason for choosing a career maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, what you want to do with your life, why? I don't want the what, but why that particular career?
The first thought that comes to your mind.
Yes.
We want very honest and prompt answers.
You can just sit and reply. You don't have to identify yourself. I know it might get a bit, hesitant for you.
Yeah, for me, I want to be an investment banker because I have interest in finance.
Okay. Thank you. A few more, please. Maybe 2 more, 2 or 3 more.
I want to be a CS.
Okay. Thank you. Why was actually the question? Why an investment banker? You have interest in finance, why a CS? Just that why. What is that one thing that makes us choose a career? One important thing. There might be 2 or 3 for you, but one will do.
Social status.
Okay. Maybe one more? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. For me, for the career I want to choose, in the next 5 years is motivated by my sole love and passion for the subject. I love biology and I want to pursue my research towards it. And my motivation is the sole curiosity that I have towards the subject and the love and the passion for it. Yes, ma'am.
If there is no one else who would like to answer, can I please go to answer my question that has been put to me? Or can we have another more? Okay. So thank you so much for sharing with us your reasons as to why you want to pursue a career in one particular domain. So we see the interest in one particular subject or the love for that particular subject, and that's what. But and another one thing that we see is why we choose a particular career is because of the livelihood prospects. Let me be very blank, but I think that is one thing that also motivates us to choose one particular career option, because we want to do good there. We want to have a stable lifestyle. We want to have, all the investment that has gone into our education and everything. We want to make it up, and we want to have a stable lifestyle. So I'll come back to that. So two important concepts that has been put in the question to me was innovation and skill. So how do we understand innovation? For me, actually, innovation is not about just, inventing something just out of the blue. It is about, understanding where a problem is, what we are facing so far, and if we can really think of an idea to overcome that problem with an action-oriented solution. Something that solves our problem. Maybe immediately, maybe after time. So innovation has always, for me, it has been that. Doesn't always mean that the problem has to be new. It might be a long-term problem, but how do we really go forward and look for a solution to it so that the thing becomes easier? It is about doing a work in a smart way. Maybe others might not have thought about it, that it could be done in that particular way. That is where the innovation comes in. So again, we have different parts where that goes into. And then another thing, important concept that was given in the question was skill. We all know that knowledge is power. And as an educator, as a teacher, when I go into my classroom and I go and see my students, actually the responsibility lies with me as to the knowledge that I'm going to give. What are they going to do with it? How are they going to apply in their lives so that their lives becomes easier? What are they going to do with all the things and the possibilities that we are going to do there in the classroom that we are going to decide when we're deciding a particular topic? And when you apply that into your real life in that particular domain to solve a particular problem or to go ahead with a particular idea, that is where I think the skills come in. So the question to me was, like, what career pathways would I like to recommend about innovation and then skills? So I think we have all known for long that a lot of things, when it comes to theory and practice, things are a lot different. And the applicability of whatever we have learned in the classroom, in the real world, is what can be translated into skills and how we can take that into a career prospect. So being a teacher, I wouldn't like to single out one or two particular profession where it can be conservation-based or where the environmental stewardship can come into being. But if we talk about skills or if we talk about knowledge, and as a teacher, I would like to say that each profession, each career, or everything has the prospect of bringing innovation and in forwarding the environmental stewardship, be it the service sector, be it the hospitality sector, be it the finance or the banking sector, be it the doctors, be it a social entrepreneur or an eco-entrepreneur or a conservation activist, whatever it is. Everything and anything, if we think about how we are impacting the environment or what are we doing for the climate or what are we doing for the communities, if things are going back to the communities or not, I think every profession has an answer to this. Even in engineering, or even being a doctor or a medical professional, or I was a tourism professional before I came into academics. So when I go and teach my students about tourism now, I tell them that this is what you might be doing. When you are a tour guide or when you are a travel agent, for that matter, you can go and see how your activities or whatever you are doing is impacting the community or the climate or your immediate surrounding. Because here we see our young leaders here. So at most we can do is we can be responsible for our own actions. So when we see that and everybody is becoming responsible for their actions and they are looking at what they are contributing to the environment as such, I think that doubles up, or that can go up to a huge impact when we're talking about the climate as a whole or the environment or the forest stewardship. So everything we do, every career we choose has the prospect of working towards environmental stewardship. That is what I think I would like to say.
Thank you,
Because
Sapna. Yes.
I would like to add, because if we single out that this is one profession where we can go for conservation-based, or environmental or forest stewardship, does that mean that we are giving the responsibility to only one or two domains which are responsible for acting up for the world, while the others are, given that leeway that you can do whatever you might with the environment? But that is not the case. We all have to go ahead and think about it in our respective professions in an innovative way so that we can apply that skills to something better.
Thank you, Dr. Sapna. Coming to the young ones again, Lisipriya and Suhan. The voices that you are raising now, it's not very easy. Okay, as young kids, it's not easy. Even as adults, it's not easy, right? You must have also faced many challenges because there may be many who may not be interested, may not have a heart that feels towards the environment, right? So, as young people, okay, what challenges do you think you face, right, towards taking climate actions today? And how can institutions and other areas contribute towards supporting your voice? Like you are doing it at your individual level. You need a full backup, isn't it? Through policies, through institutional support, through community support. What will be your messages, your urges to our audience seated here and to the larger audience who will be watching you, okay, at various platforms? What would be your messages so that we can have a united voice there? Yeah, anyone, either Lisipriya or Suhan, if you take. It goes to both of you.
Yeah, so first of all, I'll like to start with the challenges. I started at the young age of 6 years old, and when I did, I faced a lot of discrimination. As a child, बहुत सारे लोग थे, adults especially them. They pointed out that why is a child doing this? Go to school. Do your homework, study. ये सब काम तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है. This work isn't suited for a child like you. That's how things were at the beginning. And how I managed it, how I handled it, it was that I proved them wrong. I proved them that age didn't matter to make a difference. The message that I want to give to you all is that age doesn't matter to make a difference. I'm big or small. Age doesn't put a limit to it. Our communities, our culture, the diversities, from where we are, who we are, how we look, it shouldn't put an end to what we want to do, to our passion, to what we want to speak up, to raise our voice about. The issues, not just relating to environment or climate change. All those factors shouldn't put an end to it. No. You should believe in yourself. You should believe in yourself and continue that with what you want to do. And I did. I started my own organization called the Child Movement, or Bachpan Andolan, you can call it in Hindi. So what Child Movement does is that it's a children movement, you can say, or a people movement for climate justice, and in that we do various initiatives, activities such as massive tree plantation, cleanliness drives, and I've always had these 5 main demands to our leaders and the government to change the system. First is to pass a climate change law. If our governments do so, then it would help us to control the carbon emissions and the greenhouse gases. Second is to include climate education as a mandatory subject in each and every education curriculum. अगर हमारे government ये करेंगे, then it would help us to fight the climate change, ये जो environmental issues हैं, from a very young age, from the grassroots level. And third is for each and every student in India to plant minimum 10 trees every year. You see, हमारे इंडिया में, हमारे भारत में 350 million students हैं. If these 350 million students plant minimum 10 trees every year, then we would plant around 3.5 billion trees. So सोचो अगर हर साल, every year, all these students plant minimum 10 trees every year, then how much great of an impact that we can make, isn't it? This is the power that we, the students, hold in our hands. So let us try to strive into that direction. And moving on, my fourth main demand is for our governments to work together to manage a just transition away from coal, oil and gas, the fossil fuels, to the clean renewable energies. And fifth, last but not the least, is for the rich nations, the developed nations, to pay for the loss and damage fund or the climate finance. क्यों पूछोगे? It's because you see, today's global climate crisis is caused by those rich nations, and we are just the poor, vulnerable victims of it. And we deserve our share of climate justice. We deserve the climate justice now. The global south deserves the climate justice now. And the money that the finance, the climate finance, the rich developed nations such as USA are going to give to us shouldn't be in any form of loan or debt trap. It should be transparent. So moving on after that, the challenges एक होती है हमारे देश में that I have faced. Besides from the discrimination, the thing is, the government, they tried to politicize my voice. I'm talking from a personal viewpoint. The thing is, when I speak up against this place, like for example, coal mining ho raha hai is region mein, and I raise my voice for it that this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this, let us find the alternatives. When I try to raise my voice for such issues, the thing is, that particular area, they're like, ye government tumhe ye bhej raha hai, ye party tumhe ye bhej raha hai. And when I go to the other areas, like when I raise my voice for what is being done wrong, they think that I'm being sent by the other party. So this is how they try to politicize my voice. But what I would like to say is that nahi, this is all wrong. This is all just crap of, their words that they're trying to put into this. As a child, what I'm raising up my voice for is for the right cause. If I feel that something is wrong, I will speak up about it. I have the will to do so. And the thing is, they shouldn't be putting our voice, they shouldn't be politicizing our voice like this. Agar I feel ki ye galat hai, to I will speak up about it, because this is an issue that we must speak about it. Climate change ke baare mein bologe. It is one of the biggest existential crises of our time. And ye kaun suffer karta hai? Hum bacche suffer karte hain. The children, the women, we are the victims in the very front line. Agar मैं जो आज climate activist बनी हूँ at such a young age, I wouldn't have become an activist. I wouldn't have come out on streets, protest, risking my life and all of that. अगर हमारे government, अगर हमारे adults कुछ करते, isn't it? Isn't that the point? I sacrificed my beautiful childhood life to do all of this. And that's how I also became an activist. Because I feel that अगर ये planet नहीं रहेगी, then where would be our home to go? We don't have a planet B. Audience, do we have a planet B? Agar ye planet nahi hogi, can we go to moon? Can we go to Mars, Jupiter? No. है ना? Do we have another planet? Yes or no? I can't hear you. एक और planet है that we can live, that we can survive on other than Earth? No. I can't hear any of you.
We should have a stronger voice. We all need to stand united on this. Come on. What's your opinion? Do we have a planet B to go to?
That's the spirit. And if we don't have that planet B to go to if this earth dies, so should we take the climate action now? Do you think that this problem is something that we have to take the action on? Do you guys feel that we should take this climate action now? Yes or no? Should we take this climate action now? Should we take this climate action now? I can't hear you. Let us do that, because agar ye dharti nahi rahegi, then where would we go? Where would we survive? One message that I would like to say to you all. there is no value of our expensive art, beautiful home, or a lot of money on a dead planet. So let us act according to that. Thank you.
Yeah, coming to Suhan, what would you?
My situation also is the same like her, Lisipriya. So many of the people ask like, "Kyo kori asa, ki hobo etu kori," and like they just blame my parents that why are you spoiling your child's career? Like he should be studying like lately in night, in morning also. Like many big people also from Assam, I will not take the name. Like they just say that ebur kori eko nohobo, means eko mane benefit nohobo. Tumar কাম কৰিলো ৰাইনো মৰিব কাম নকৰিলো that he said at the starting of my work when I was around 1 to 2 years when I was working. So like after 6 years or 7 years he just came to me and said that I will take my words back and like I really appreciate your work. And one thing I just wanted to announce everyone that youth voice and youth movement is the most powerful thing on this planet Earth. If we don't speak what we are thinking inside ours, then no one cannot understand. Like we cannot take the what animals are thinking inside. We are just like animals in all over this. So we just like to speak. We have to speak. And मैं और एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ लिसिप्रिया के मैंने 19-20 का फ़र्क है शायद मतलब she said that she said that we have to plant one tree every year and it's a very good concept and I am also on every festival I am gifting plants to all over the people and encouraging to plant one tree at every festival. So like so many festivals are there in India. So if in around 1 year if we take around 10 to 12 festivals, so one person will plant 12 trees every year. So it is so much in quantity. So I distributed around 3,500 plus plants and now also it's going on. And also I just made a concept that in vote booth there I distributed with a theme that ek vote ek peड़. So I just in 2019 election and after March elections I distributed saplings to all the people who come to give their vote. So by doing small steps, I am not doing so much big rocket science that no one could follow. I am doing just small steps and trying to make a little bit change in our society. And also, if someone of our youth or my adults might also give excuses that we have work, we have studies, how can we manage, how can we go out and like explain to one or two people, how can we plant trees, we are so many busy, we like scrolling reels and all. So I just wanted to say that from class 1 to class 10, right now I'm 11, I'm just absent for around 5 days from school. And not also for this purpose, I was just ill or some other reasons. So I just take out time. I just like to manage my own time. Take out time, read newspapers, read magazine, see every things where I am interested in, like wildlife, rhino, and the conservation of it. So I just like to give you a little message that we ourselves have to save this planet Earth, that no one is there. Like also, I would like to mention again her name, Lisipriya said that there is no planet B, of course. So we have to think about our planet. This is what our ancestors have gave us and what we will give to our children and grandchildren. So we have to take care of it. And at last, I will say that start small, that no one would, if someone comes and interrupts, just say that I am doing my own work and bring something change in the society. That is.
I think both of you have indeed proven that age is just a number and there is no age to create an impact. And today we can all take a pledge on the ideologies that yes, we will gift out saplings, we'll gift out plants on every festival and as gift rather than going into more consumerism, as was discussed in the previous panel as well. এতিয়া মই অশ্বিনী বনৰাজ আৰু ৰাজীৱ কটকী দেবলৈ আহিব বিচাৰিছোঁ আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিবা চেলেঞ্জ ফেচ কৰে নেকি আপোনালোকৰ স্কুলত য'ত ল'ৰা ছোৱালী বাহিৰত বেছি খেলিবলৈ হয়তো মন দিব পাৰে ফুটবল খেলিব লাগিব কিন্তু কনজাৰভেশ্যন বা ইক'লজিকেল আণ্ডাৰষ্টেণ্ডিং সেই হেৰিটোহে মনোভাৱটো আপোনালোকৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীত পায় নে নাপায় আৰু কেনেকৈ আপোনালোকে আৰু বেছি সিহঁতক সেই দিশলৈ আগবঢ়াই নিবলৈ পাৰে মানে প্ৰচেষ্টা কৰিব
তেনেকুৱা চেলেঞ্জ আমাৰ স্কুলত নাই কিয়নো গাঁও এৰিয়াৰ স্কুল হয় ভিলেজ এৰিয়াৰ তো তাত আমি ষ্টুডেণ্ট আমি বেছিকৈ আমি কেনেকৈ পৰিৱৰ্তনটো এতিয়া সলনি হৈ গৈ আছে এতিয়া যাতে সলনি হৈ নাযাওক সেইটোৰ ওপৰতহে শিক্ষা দিওঁ কিয়নো আমি যদি এতিয়া সংৰক্ষণ কৰি নাৰাখোঁ তেন্তে আমাৰ আগৰ যোনটো প্ৰজন্ম হ'ব ছেকেণ্ড জেনেৰেশ্যন কেনেকৈ থাকিব আমাৰ এইটো পৃথিৱী সেইটোকে আমি চাই এতিয়া আমি ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকক স্কুলত হওক সামাজিক মাধ্যমত হওক তাৰপিছতে উৎসৱ পাৰ্বণ হওক সেইবিলাকত গৈ এৱাৰনেছ প্ৰগ্ৰাম কৰি আমি ইহঁতক বুজাওঁ যে কি কৰিলে কি হ'ব বা কেনেকৈ আমি এইখন আমাৰ পৃথিৱী পৰিৱেশ সংৰক্ষণ কৰি ৰাখিব পাৰোঁ
অশোক বড়ো দেবলৈ আহিবলৈ বিচাৰিছোঁ আপোনাৰ কি মন্তব্য এই দিশত
ধন্যবাদ প্ৰশ্নটোৰ কাৰণে মই এই ক্ষেত্ৰত নতুন প্ৰজন্মকহে মই কিছু ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ যে পৰিৱেশ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি যিমানখিনি শ্ৰেণীত বা স্কুলত যিমানখিনি আমি প্ৰেক্টিকেলি শিকাওঁ বা কেনেকৈ গছপুলিডাল ৰুইকৈ তাত কি পানী দিব লাগিব কি সাৰ দিব লাগিব এইবিলাকৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি শিকাওঁ তথাপিও আমি বৰ্তমান যিখিনি নেকি যুৱ প্ৰজন্ম আছে তেওঁলোকে মানে এই পৰিৱেশৰ ওপৰত অন্ততঃ 1 ঘণ্টা নহ'লেও আধা ঘণ্টামান সময় পৰিৱেশৰ নিয়ন্ত্ৰণৰ কাৰণে বা নতুন সৃষ্টিৰ কাৰণে কিবা এটা কৰিবৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে আগ্ৰহ হোৱাটো মই বিচাৰোঁ আৰু এই ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি বিদ্যালয়খনত আমাৰ যিবিলাকে অৰ্গেনাইজাৰ আছে ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন বালিপাৰা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনে হওক আসাম ইনভেষ্টমেণ্ট এডভাইজাৰী ছ'চাইটিয়ে হওক তেওঁলোকৰ সহযোগত আমি ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক আমাৰ বিভিন্ন ঠাইলৈ নি ফৰেষ্ট এৰিয়া হওক বা পৰ্যটনস্থলীতে হওক তেওঁলোকক আমি লৈ যাই নিয়াৰ পাছত তেওঁলোকক আমি পৰীক্ষা এটা কৰোঁ যে তাত কি দেখি আহিলে বা কিবা পৰিৱৰ্তন দেখিছে নেকি না কিবা কৰিবলগীয়া আছে নেকি তাৰ ওপৰত আমি কিছুমান প্ৰশ্ন দিওঁ সেইবিলাকক তেওঁলোকে মেইনটেইন কৰিব চেষ্টা কৰে আৰু এতিয়া নতুন প্ৰজন্মই পৃথিৱীখন সলনি হৈছে যে আগৰ যিটো ছিটুৱেশ্যন বা আগৰ পোনপ্ৰথমে আমাৰ এখন ভগৱানে সুন্দৰ এখন পৃথিৱী দিছিলে কিন্তু আমি উন্নতিৰ কাৰণে বা নিজৰ স্বাৰ্থৰ কাৰণে আমি পৃথিৱীখনৰ যিটো পৰিৱেশ এই পৰিৱেশটো আমি নষ্ট কৰি পেলাইছোঁ গতিকে আমি উঠি অহা প্ৰজন্মক যাতে সেই পৃথিৱীখন আকৌ ঘূৰাই দিব পাৰোঁ আগৰ যিটো নেকি পৃথিৱী আছিলে যিখিনি পৰিৱেশ আছিলে যিটো আমি জীয়াই থকাৰ কাৰণে যিখিনি দৰকাৰ আছিলে সেই গোটেইখিনি পাইছিলোঁ কিন্তু বৰ্তমান গ্ল'বেল ৱাৰ্মিং বা ৱেডাৰ চেঞ্জ এইবিলাকৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ এতিয়া কি হৈছে আমাৰ পৰিৱেশটো বিনষ্ট হৈছে গতিকে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত উঠি অহা প্ৰজন্মই যাতে অলপ হ'লেও চিন্তা কৰি পৃথিৱীখনক আকৌ সুন্দৰ কৰি কৰিবৰ কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিবৰ কাৰণে মই আহ্বান জনাইছোঁ। এই ক্ষেত্ৰত চিন্তা চৰ্চাবোৰ এনেকুৱা হ'ব লাগে যে আৰম্ভণিটো নিজৰ ঘৰৰ পৰাই কৰক বা নিজৰ এৰিয়াৰ পৰাই কৰক, এই গৈ পেলাই গোটেই পৃথিৱীখনকে সলনি কৰিব। এটা কথা ক'ব চিন্তা এনেকুৱা হ'ব লাগে যে থিংক গ্ল'বেল, এক্ট লোকেলি। থেংক ইউ।
So, from what we heard from Osini Bonraj aru Ashok Boro Dangoria, we understand that it is community-based model that can make environmental education more hands-on and also meaningful in today's scenario that we are facing. I would like to come to Dr. Sapna Medhi now. Dr. Sapna, you have been associated with a lot of community projects. Can you also share with us how sustainable tourism models can empower both youth and protect the ecosystem, protect the environmental ecosystem and the forest ecosystem? Your experience, you had a long journey on this. We'd like to listen from you, your stories.
Thank you, ma'am, for this question. Actually, conservation per se, there is not a single career which is particularly standing on that concept, conservation, and it is a thankless job. Like the youth leaders will tell you, they have faced a lot of challenges. So there is not one particular job or one particular skill that will take you towards conservation and will also bring in a proper livelihood. So it is a non-profitable job like that. But then when we are incorporating conservation or that particular awareness at every step of what we are doing for livelihood, I think that is one thing that all of us can do. And maybe just making the people aware, me as a teacher, when I go into the room and I tell them about the practices that they can be doing outside after they pursue a particular course and how they can bring in sustainability, very small ideas. So I think each of us has a role to play in that. And when, just like I said, well, you'll see all the speakers before our panels as well, everyone who has been a part of this HF and even outside, you'll see that they have been talking about what they can do when it comes to sustainability in their particular areas, in their particular professions as well. Even the corporates are thinking about it, and they are getting aware about how to bring this sustainability model into force when we talk about the community, when we talk about the environment and conservation as such. So coming to that again, ma'am has asked about, that is how I do, that is what I do. Anywhere and everywhere I get a chance, I just barge into and I get myself associated, whether it be a theater or eco-theater or anything, because tourism is such a vast subject. And anything and everything unique that we have to offer to people who are coming from outside, who haven't experienced a particular concept or experienced a particular lifestyle or haven't seen a particular destination or hasn't seen a particular concept transformed into reality, is a product in tourism. So when we are doing that, there is a lot of chance for linking livelihood along with sustainability practices and livelihood with conservation. So I have been associated with such an unique project which is called the Dengrali Eco Theatre. It's an eco theatre festival which is being organized every year on the last Saturday and Sunday of December. It has been 3 or 4 years. So these practitioners actually, they come from the theatre background. They are into art and entertainment. So how they have, brought in the sustainability or the conservation aspect, the entire theatre is in amidst a bamboo grove, where it forms the curtain, the backside curtain, and then it's a stage that is made of mud. The gallery is of earth, and then there is an afforested area which belongs to this particular couple, and they have afforested the entire area. And so because they are from the theatre background, they are into arts and entertainment, they have brought that concept wherein there is no unsustainable material used while they are preparing the stage or while they are preparing the seating arrangement for that particular area. So much so that the entire theater or the entire place have to start when there is daylight and have to end when the sun goes down. And there is no concept of using mics or sound or light. it has to be in sync with nature. And because that area is full of birds, residential birds, so they cannot disturb nature, they won't disturb nature. So any play that doesn't go with their idea of sustainability or nature-based theme, like, you know, if there is more usage of power or more usage of electricity or sound system, then they simply deny. So, but that's a challenge again. So again, that entire theme, when we bring in the sustainability concept, that's a product for tourism. People come to see how they are doing it. And when they are doing it, there is livelihood not only for those theater practitioners, but also for the community that live beside that particular project, because they sell their homemade snacks. The entire area is inhabited by the Kabi community of Assam. Women, they come in their dresses, they sell their traditional food, and also there is an art and photography museum as well, wherein the young people, they come and they showcase their skills in photography, which is nature-based. So these are products actually, and this is a sustainable tourism model, I would like to say, because sustainability as a concept came in the 90s and 2000, and when the world demanded for it, because mass tourism was showing its negative impacts. But then people will move around. We cannot stop people at their homes, and we want people to move around because it leads to, you know, international understanding as well as earning revenues, international foreign exchange as well. So when we're speaking about this sustainability concept, it is just about the awareness and the idea how we want to go about when we are linking conservation with livelihood as well. There are a lot of other subsets which have come under that overarching framework of sustainable tourism, like community-based tourism or community-based ecotourism, alternative nature-based tourism. So when we bring in these linkages, because conservation, if somebody is doing conservation, they also need to go on ahead with their life. They need to think about what next they will be doing, and that needs money, to be very frank. But then, if when we are doing things and we are getting the revenue, or we are also going ahead with our life, and at the same time we are also giving back to the community, giving back to the environment, showing what we are doing, selling it as a story, and asking others to join us in our campaigns through the medium of tourism, what better can be that? Though this is an idealistic situation, I'm not saying that achieving 100% of it is possible, but even if we are achieving 50% or 60% of it, I think we are doing good in terms of linking livelihood and conservation, and also giving back to the community while they are holding on to their indigenous systems, the knowledge, because these living traditions, they need to be conserved, they need to be preserved, and when the world knows about it, I think there will be people who would be coming ahead with bigger ideas, with smaller maybe steps or innovations to keep them alive for the new generation to learn from that. And I think that is where innovation, conservation, livelihood, tourism, revenue, all these things can merge when taken, I think, in the right way. I hope it answers your question.
Thank you for helping us see how education evolves with ecological consciousness. Now, moving to David. Now we are at the intersection of ecology, community livelihood. Now, another challenge that the society faces is waste management. So can you give your opinion on this intersection of ecology, waste, community, livelihood, your ideas?
Sure, thank you, ma'am. And yes, so in my very short career so far, I've been able to put my hands in different hats, and one has been waste management. So, you know, when it comes to sustainability and particularly waste management, the Northeast and the communities in the Northeast are no strangers. I mean, we have had, you know, we've been role models in terms of sustainable ways in managing waste. But the thing is that there have been certain challenges that have come up in recent times, changes in consumption patterns, the lacking of infrastructure to handle these changing consumption patterns, and primarily another issue, not just in the Northeast, but all over India, is the issue of this excess agricultural residue, but something where it's been ignored towards the Northeast. So in this aspect as well, I think where the youth can come in and bring in innovation. So there's one thing that I always believe is that innovation is most powerful when it applies and amplifies local knowledge and local systems rather than replacing it. And So one of the ways, definitely, like, so since I work a lot in the behavior change space with my organization that I work for, one is that instead of replacing traditional knowledge, the youth can definitely bring in the awareness by bridging that traditional knowledge with modern ways, future ways. Um, that is one angle, and especially if now we talk about like how ma'am had even mentioned that, you see, there's also need for like financing these aspects. One is that if the youth want to use this sort of channel into entrepreneurship, there are many ways to do it. Sustainable, produce can replace, items that like, for example, plastics. Again, I don't want to villainize plastics, but particularly like, when it comes into being an ecological hazard, there are many sustainable ways that traditional systems can be used to replace that. But so like I had mentioned about the biomass issue over here, India generates over 750 million tons of agricultural residue and biomass each year. And there's been an there's been a very there's been too much of focus actually towards the North Indian belt for this matter, but there's a lot of potential when it comes to the northeastern side, particularly when you look at paddy residue, for example, or bamboo in that way. And in this sense, not only one is that you can that the youth can actually tackle this issue of handling this, but can make sort of so an entrepreneurial case for this as well. Like I had mentioned that I do work in the space of climate finance, particularly carbon credits, ways such as turning biomass into biochar. Biochar is something that is so in demand across the world in one way. And other forms can mobilize by starting with carbon credits. Again, I am also not an advocate for carbon credits to be an end game, but as a means of enabling to start your financing your enterprise, and then moving on to other ways that can be used to finance. So waste management in that sense can become not only a problem solver for the region, but actually become an entrepreneurial opportunity. So, thank you.
Thank you, David. Now, coming to the closing of this very, very active discussion, I would like to place one opinion, I would like to draw one thought from each speaker's panelist voice. Like, how can this youth and community partnership, how can we strengthen? Because as individuals, if we keep our activism stronger, yes, it will be strong, but we need to connect with the community. We need to have a unified voice. So what can be certain ways through which we can reach out to have a more stronger youth community partnership, strengthening our conservation efforts and our conservation outcomes? I would like to hear from each of our distinguished panelists. Can we start with you, Suhan?
First of all, one information I want to share, because I didn't share last. So during these years, our rhino population has increased around 30%, and the poaching has decreased for around 92%. So it's a very amazing knowledge that we are getting for our motherland, for our Assam, that rhinos are being poached now less these days. So what is the real reason behind? Of course, the government is there, the forest, the who are in charge is there, and many other peoples are there. But the main base who are involved is the communities, the people near the Kaziranga National Park, near national parks where rhinos are found, the youths who are taking out campaigns through social media or physically in many of the places, schools, colleges, etc. So, like, we are the main power. Like, not we can say that government koribo aro, ami to normal manu hoy. Tenoga bhabile nohobo. Means like we have to take steps. Like, ami to nije step nije khuskari vote dibo goisu. Tenoga amak nije step lobo lagibo. ইউথকো কৈ আছোঁ আমাৰ নিজে যেনেকুৱা আমি অফক'ৰ্চ পঢ়িবতো নাযাওঁ নিজে বাট পেৰেণ্টছে যদি কৈ আছে পঢ়িব আমি যাওঁ পঢ়িব চ' নিজে যে গৈ আছোঁ আমাক নিজেই ইয়াতে আগবাঢ়াই আহিব লাগিব আমি যেনেকৈ নিজে ফোন চাওঁ ৰিলেটেবল চ' আমাক নিজেই এইবোৰ বস্তু কৰিব লাগিব চ' মই like I am not a very special kind of person I am also a student I also give exams today I came from directly from school giving my physical education exam I am also ill sometimes and I just think that মোৰ চবৰ মানুহৰ লগত কি হ'ব মোৰ সাৰাউণ্ডিংছৰ লগত কি হ'ব কি কেনেকৈ মই আমাৰ কামবোৰ আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাব পাৰোঁ কেনেকৈ আমি মিনছ সৰু সৰু ষ্টেপছ কৰি পেলাই আমি আমাৰ এনভাইৰমেণ্ট বা আমাৰ ওৱান হৰ্ণ ৰাইনোৰ কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন গ্ৰ'থ আৰু পাব্লিচিটিৰ কাৰণে মই আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাব পাৰোঁ যেনেকুৱা মই আমাৰ ওৱান হৰ্ণ ৰাইনোৰ পাব্লিচিটিৰ কাৰণে মই অল অভাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াত মই কেম্পেইন কৰিছোঁ কিয় পাব্লিচিটিৰ কাৰণে মই কেম্পেইন কৰিছোঁ কিয় মানুহক লগ কৰিছোঁ সেইটো মই লাষ্টত কৈ আছোঁ কিন্তু I visited different tourism offices different places and encourage the people that our one horn rhino is found in Kaziranga National Park I promoted one horn rhino I met different Bollywood celebrities including Akshay Kumar John Abraham and many celebrities are there Katrina Kaif and all so I met different influencers different politicians even I met Sir Narendra Modi not on this purpose but I proposed him for a more impactful conservation on one horn rhino and he really appreciated me and this was a great success for us for Assam that one horn rhino as I told is being poachless so why basically I invite people to Kaziranga National Park why I invite big celebrities big politicians two presidents Sir Ramnath Kovind and our present president Ma'am Drupadi I invited them to Kaziranga National Park and they came and so what is the main purpose of inviting them like aise to nahi aayega or like means if they come there will be a concerning that rhinos are being found in Kaziranga National Park so many people আমি অসমত থাকো কাৰণে আমি গম পাওঁ যে কাজিৰঙাত আমাৰ ৰাইনো পায় বা ৰাইনো কি হয় কিন্তু in India only many people don't know what is one horn rhino and this is very concerning because one horn rhino is the pride of our Assam and so for this I invite the people they tell everyone that about it and many of the followers also come to their increase in the publicity what will happen if the increase in publicity of the one horn rhino so number one of course tourism will increase more people will get employed and number two is that if let's take an example of product if one products get publicity and many people are attracted to it if after 2 or 3 days if the product will companies will say that we will close we will discontinue the product then the people who love that product who are known to them will try to save that product so it same thing we can relate with the one horn rhino so if more people know them more people if something happens in some laws and all are exchanged and some many rhinos were killed in the future so people will come out in streets and they will protest so I am making the base very strong and also regarding climate change and global warming and tree plantation I plant many trees and encourage in every I also made a poster and did with the environment department of Assam that I go to different colleges universities and give them the date there are all the basic sustainable needs what we can student do not very complicated things like we should turn off the lights, like basic things everyone knows, but no one follows. If in school it is teached, and like studies, you go and do that one and tell me what you have did in a list, so it will be very impactful. So I just wanted to say that no big platform is such needed for this work. We have to like do small work, and we have to do for our people, our environment. Thank you.
Can we hear from Dr. Sapna about the Youth Community Partnership? Final closing remarks before we wind up the session.
Yeah, actually, today is an example in itself when we are hearing Priya speak, or Udayveer or Suhan for that matter. And I'm sure there are many others who are doing in their own capacities. And what they are doing actually, they are not only doing for themselves, because whenever they are doing something good, the benefit goes out to the entire community, to the entire state, actually at a global level. So it's not that everybody can come out and do what they are doing, but when they are asking something, the only thing that we need to be is aware about our actions. We might not be able to go out and have that courage even, or parental pressure or peer pressure or the societal pressures, but we can at least see what they are doing and how we can help them in our own, small ways, how we can contribute, to their causes. It's as simple as that. It's just about, every day morning when we wake up and we go to sleep, how have I reduced the negative impact on the environment today? Doesn't mean that we should go out and plant trees every single day. But I think if there are trees in our surroundings, not cutting them will suffice even. I think it will help you too. Even that single thought or that single awareness, I think, can lead to, the ripple effect of, what they are doing will be multiplied into, the impact will be positively in a big way when everybody is doing or thinking in that way. And because the youth is energy, you are filled with energy, you are filled with innovative ideas. I'm sure when students are sitting here, some of you are already thinking about what you want to do in the future, what you are going to innovate, what you are going to invent, how you are going to make life easier. I'm sure a lot of you must be thinking about it. So you are the energy. And also when we are saying about things that is going to impact the entire community, or what things we are doing that we are going to impact our surrounding itself, it is also important sometimes to listen what your elders have to say. Maybe not everything, but that intergenerational collaboration, I think, is also important, because the elders have the experience, they know what the problems they have seen, what they have faced. They might be able to give you genuine ideas, and the youth have the energy, you are tech savvy, and yes, you have a lot of energy, a lot of ideas which you can bring into the people who are not aware of that, maybe the older generation. Even when I look at myself here and I see you and I see them, I feel outdated. There are a lot of things which I do not know. There are a lot of things that you know, or maybe we have experiences that we can share. So apart from that youth, community, or that, collaboration between youth in different parts or different sectors, I think because when we are speaking about environmental stewardship, it cuts across all disciplines and all sectors. And everybody has to join hands in each sector to make it possible. Because when we're talking about rural tourism, again, nowadays a big thing has come up, that green infrastructure, the rural infrastructure. We see now that the vernacular models of architecture were more sustainable than what has come up now. So that, yes, that thought, that awareness, just that simple awareness of what I'm doing, what I'm studying, how can I, bring a positive impact in my own small way, how can I add to their or someone's initiatives, I think that makes a lot of difference in the long term. So I think that collaboration amongst the youth and also the intergenerational collaboration can go a long way in multiplying these positive impacts.
Thank you. And that's coming from the voice of an educator. Yes, when we are talking about youth, the school children and the university students who are seated here and also would be watching this show, of course, their first connect is their family, and their second connect is the education setup. and their faculty members, and that's coming from an educator, makes a lasting impact, of course. So with this, we come to the closure of this very, very interesting and engaging discussion. We got lots to learn from the young voices, Lisipriya and Suhan, and we pledge today, on behalf of all, that we will surely plant a tree. We'll gift trees to everyone that we know, who we know on every festival, taking your ideology. We will include climate reduction in curriculum, the propositions that you made in this platform, and also we can surely pledge to undertake multiple roles, keeping one role as our priority, that do something small, even if it is small, but towards the conservation of our ecosystem, towards our environment. And these little small steps will surely create a beautiful world in near future. So I thank all our distinguished panelists for joining us in this very, very important forum, which is going to take the messages across the world, and our voices will be heard, and we'll have a more stronger, unified voice in the future to come. Thank you so much. Thank you.